The Kamalesan case highlights a sensitive clash between two deeply valued democratic principles: military cohesion and individual freedom of conscience. Lieutenant Samuel Kamalesan, a Protestant Christian, was dismissed from the Indian Army for refusing to enter the sanctum of his regiment's temple or gurdwara during mandatory paradis. Though he attended the paradis, removed his shoes, tied the turban, and stood respectfully with his men, he sought only to avoid crossing a doctrinal line central to his faith. Delhi High Court upheld his dismissal, treating it as disobedience or lawful military command under Article 33, and the Supreme Court declined to intervene, emphasizing deference to military discipline. Yet the case raises a more profound question: when two legitimate values, conscience and cohesion, collide, must one always override the other? The army argued that rituals reinforce morale and faster acceptance of officers in fixed-class regiments, and the court accepted this reasoning. However, India's armed forces have historically built unity not through majoritarian pressure, but through trust across faiths and regions, as seen in their inclusive ethos and leadership examples such as Colonel Sophia Qureshi. The Kamalesan case therefore feels discordant because the officer's sincerity was evident and an accommodation was possible, much like the Olympics example of Eric Liddell, whose religious beliefs were respected without compromising team spirit. The loss is not just of a potentially good officer but of an unsettling message to minority soldiers, that even respectful dissent grounded in conscience may find no space. Courts have in the past reshaped discriminatory military practices, for example, in the landmark women officers case, showing that judicial review is not incompatible with military functioning. Here, the judiciary could have applied a proportionality test or drawn from precedents like Bijo Emmanuel, where the Supreme Court protected students who did not sing the national anthem as long as they stood respectfully. The deeper disappointment is that the issue reached a courtroom at all. A humane, internal resolution was entirely possible. The Kamalesan case ultimately teaches that duty and conscience need not be adversaries. The strength of the Indian Army has always come from blending discipline with empathy. A small, thoughtful accommodation would have preserved unity while affirming that every soldier, or every faith, stands equal under the Indian uniform.